This is kvci.blogspot.com with George Boston Rhymes on YouTube, Boston G.B.R. Greetings to you. This is an update from my wrongful termination from Wal-Mart Stores Incorporated, March 20th, 2008. To the people of America, I would like to say to you and around the world, it is amazing how Wal-Mart Stores Incorporated have ignored me for 3.5 years. After 30 YouTube videos, after providing the 30+ pages of a 4-week training program that Wal-Mart themselves created for all sporting goods department managers. However, George Boston Rhymes was denied this training. There were initials, dates, and signatures required by Wal-Mart guidance, directives, and procedures. However, for 3.5 years, I have asked Mr. Lee, that is President Lee, President Duke, Chairman of the Board of Directors, David Glass, and every member on the Board of Directors, consisting of 2 names that looks like Waltons to me. However, I have yet to receive even a courteous reply. It does not matter that I am a retired member of the United States Armed Forces after 20 years of faithful service and dedication. In my possessions with commendation medals, all outstanding and excellent performance reports for those 20 years, yet I have been ignored by Wal-Mart Stores Incorporated without even a courteous reply. You all have seen on my 30 videos to Wal-Mart Stores Incorporated. Yet, as of this date, I have yet to hear anything from them. My specific question was simple. Number 1, Mr. Lee, Mr. Duke, Mr. Glass, and Board of Directors, your store manager here in Valdosta, Georgia, have terminated me under the heading of inability to perform job. Now, how could I be terminated under that heading, my fellow Americans and the people of the Republic of China, Germany, Canada, the Virgin Islands, and other places around the world, if I was never provided the proper training? That is a matter of record. But to take my case further, I asked Wal-Mart executives, and I will say on this video, if you can show me in writing who was assigned my trainer of this required 4-week training that is before the screen now, if you can disapprove and tell the people of America that this is not your training document given to all Wal-Mart department managers for sporting goods. If you can deny this form, or if you can provide proof that I was ever trained as a department manager, if you can refute my accusations, then I would most humbly apologize to Wal-Mart executives, because it would be the right thing to do. But Mr. Lee, Mr. Duke, Mr. Glass, the Waltons, and board of director members, God, Jesus, Mohammed, Astaroth, or store manager Hal, none of those names that I call can prove that I was ever trained. That's a powerful statement to make. But there's something about truth that does not need any substantiation, for it stands for itself. Now, so Mr. Duke, you have ignored me. Mr. Glass and board of directors, you have ignored me. I'm used to that. After all, I sent you 31 typed letters over a 3.5-year period. And you didn't think enough of a former department manager to reply in writing. So that leads the American people to believe you do not care about your workers. Now, I was asked to journey with a group of people to Bentonville, Arkansas, to talk with Wal-Mart executives about my termination and about other mistreated Wal-Mart workers and former department managers and workers. And that we did. But Mr. Duke, Chairman Glass, and board of directors, you didn't have the courtesy to come out and talk with from 150 to 200 people. We took buses. We were peaceful. We had our signs. We had our hearts filled, expecting that workers in America had some rights that was worthy to be addressed by their employer. Some in our entourage was disappointed by your actions. I was not, but I was somewhat puzzled. So what we have done here, I have put together this video for the people here in Valdosta, Georgia at store 2615, $8.99, the Wal-Marts in Thomasville, Tifton, Tallahassee, Jacksonville, and all around South Georgia. So people can watch this video in the quiet of their own homes to see how Wal-Mart, America's largest retail giant, ignores workers here in Valdosta, the state of Georgia, and throughout America. So this video that I'm compiling is of our tour when we were met not by Mr. Glass, not by President Duke, not by any of the board of director members, not by anyone in an executive position, but we were met by their security force that gave a strong arm, and as you will see, pushed one of our cameramen. Oh yeah, by the way, I'm a member of our Wal-Mart now as well. Yes, it is an organization for all the workers here in Valdosta, Georgia at 2615 and across the street, or across town rather, to store 899. Because they are suffering and they need help and they don't have an open door policy that is in force. They are told, as I was told when I was employed for 3.5 years, that there was an open door policy, but I found out it was only plexiglass. And to anyone who tried running into that open door, it's plexiglass and you can hurt yourself. Now, before we go to this video, I want you to know, like everything else that I've done in my other videos on YouTube, I do not lie. I bring nothing to you but the truth. Now, this is week 1 of my training that I should have received but did not. And you've already reviewed that. This was week 2 of the training that I should have received but did not. This is the 3rd week of training that I should have received but did not. This is the 4th week of training that I should have received but did not. This is 2 pages of recapping wherein initials and signatures by my trainer. In this case would have been Frank Summerlin. So why didn't you fire Frank Summerlin for failing in his responsibility to initial off, date and initial off on this form, and for not signing this form? It's all there. It's all. Can you see that, Mr. Duke? Can you see that, Mr. Glass? Board of Directors and the Walter. Can you see this? I did. Look, Mr. Duke. Look, I didn't do that. And so, this is a recap consisting of 30 to 34 pages. Now, be that as it may, I'm not crying out by myself. These are members of our Wal-Mart. I understand they met with you all last year, Board of Directors or someone in the executive department, and promises were made. But on the 12th of this month, you didn't follow through, and you ignored the people that make millions and billions of dollars for your company. And I believe it is time for a change. Now, to the American people, you may say, Mr. Rhymes, you was a sporting goods department manager, and you proved by showing the documents and by your other 30 videos that you were wrongfully terminated. But you also say you went to Bentonville, Arkansas, but you haven't provided any proof. You told me, George, that you were a member of our Wal-Mart. Well, I believe in the truth. These are my airplane tickets that I caught. I drove 250 miles round trip from Valdosta to Jacksonville, Florida. In Jacksonville, I boarded a flight, and that flight from Jacksonville carried me to Memphis, Tennessee, and from Memphis, Tennessee to Fayetteville, and of course there to a hotel. Now, while there, I met up with members of our Wal-Mart. I joined our Wal-Mart when I saw them on the internet. And they looked so good because they had the courage to stand up against the new modern day Goliath. And we need a David to bring this giant home to the theology, to the practices of Mr. Sam Walton. He was a great man, and he respected his workers. But somewhere in the mix, they got lost at 6. Then after we went to the home office in Bentonville, we were almost arrested. No one came out. and they played the game. They ignored me for 3.5 years. And although we had all of these present and former Walmart managers, department managers, associates, and etc., they didn't even give us the time of day. You're going to see on the video as I hook this up in a few minutes for you. I want you to look at every clip. Some of them are extremely short. But I want you to know the truth. I want you to give this to your mother. Give one to your father. Give one to your enemy. Give one to your neighbor. But spread these videos. Make copies and burn them and send them to all 50 states. And if you know somebody in China and Russia, send them a copy. Everybody needs to know the truth, because Jesus said, "And ye shall know the truth, and that the truth shall set and make you free." And so, oh yeah, that's my baggage claim. I did take baggage. Again, we strategize in terms of what can we do to be respected by Walmart? What can we do to get those people that make 6 figures and more income a year to treat regular buggy pushers and the door greeters and the little associates, some is handicapped, some with medical conditions, some that are injured on the job. All of this came up in our meetings as we strategize in ways to try to make Walmart a better place to work. We do not hate Walmart. We do not want to see Walmart destroyed nor go out of business. The people of our Walmart simply want respect, as the Walton family members want respect, as Mr. Glass want his family and members and children and grandchildren and great-grands, if you have any, to be respected. The same respect that Mr. Lee wants, the same respect that President Mike Duke wants, everybody wants that for their children and their parents. And this should be very easy to understand. And so, I'm going to close on this note. Walmart ignored me for 3.5 years. And I can prove it over, and have done it, that I was terminated wrongly. Inability. Can you imagine? It said inability to perform job. Inability, y'all. Before all this is over, I want them to do another evaluation about my abilities, because I'm going to show you what I'm capable of doing before it's all over. So now we're going to close this, because the truth speaks for itself. And the truth is what it is. And so now we're going to close this out by saying to you, we are not Mr. Lee, Mr. Duke, Mr. Glass, Walton and other board of directors. We are not who we claim to be, but who we prove ourselves to be over a given period of time. And I'm here to tell you, the people of Walmart is fed up. And the people here in Valdosta, Georgia, at store 2615, gotta wake up. The people here in Valdosta who are mistreated at $8.99 must wake up. I'm not gonna say to you, join Walmart. I'm not going to say join our Walmart. I will not say that to you. I will not tell you to join our Walmart. But I will say to you, join your Walmart. The one that your dollars keep in business. The one that your children and your grandchildren and your great-grandchildren and your neighbor down the street, and yes, and your enemies keep in business. Join your Walmart. And what is your Walmart? If it's your Walmart, it's our Walmart. Join it. This is George Boston Rhymes coming up with clip 1 and about 100 more on this particular DVD. I do it because I want you truly informed. I want you to know that Georgia is an at-will to work law. That means they can just fire you for good cause, bad cause, or for no cause at all. And we got senators and we got House of Representative members, and they just sit there and they just sit there and they just sit there, and while workers' rights is going to hell, and we keep voting them back into office as if though we are crazy. Crazy. If our elected officials cannot stand up on our behalf, then we should sit down on them during election time. Clip 1 is over. Now the rest is up to you. And as Paul Harvey would say, and now the rest of the story. Oh, by the way, I do not speak for our Wal-Mart. They have professionals to do that. I'm speaking concerning my wrongful termination and company leaders that cares little to nothing about their workers, and they're proving it every day. Bye-bye. We gone.